I would like to begin with a poem in old-fashioned meter. Be good to us, and we'll be good to you.
Okay, so it's June 12th. I'm about to go to my team, Benjamin Committee team meeting tonight. Just want to check in and do a journal for what has happened. We're now in the third week. This is day one of week 3 on the campaign. So last week I went campaigning with the candidate on Thursday, along with the gentleman I have recruited to be the field director of voter contact. So we went door to door in Cambridge, talking to people, and we had a large improvement from the beginning of the day till the end of the day. One of the things that I'm trying to stress as far as when I provide the training, the communication training for how people should canvass, I'm trying to break it down into these, 5 sections: greet or salutations, discovery, offer, or we'll call it, benefit of voting, what the campaign wants to do. The actual, this is our spiel, is step 3. Step 4, ask, whether it be for a vote or for money. And then step 5 is the buttoning down. Okay, follow me on this social media right now. Okay, would you rather donate on a monthly basis, or would you rather do a one-time contribution right now? But it's the close. And then obviously there'll be rebuttals and then back and forth. But so right now we're just trying to get through the discovery, and what we've kind of structured is these questions to ask the person without feeling like one of those weird clipboard people that hangs out in downtown Crossing, and when you come up they're like, and you just know that they're going to ask you to donate before, it's just real obvious, and they have real aggressive questions right off the bat. So we're trying to ask and find out if the person is a registered voter without just being like, are you a registered voter? But trying to make a real connection, especially since the whole campaign is based on connecting the community. So find out what their general income is like. If they live in Cambridge, are they a registered voter? And then once finding out those things, find out what they actually care about the city of Cambridge doing. Some people are in a wheelchair and they care about the sidewalks being smooth. Some people are really into the environment. Some people are immigrants, here illegally. They don't want to get deported. So we have to find out what's actually important to them. So the question that we're, and I stressed in all the trainings I've done about this, that they could find their own way if they understand the objectives of the discovery, which is to find out information about the person we're talking to and make a connection with that person. They could find other questions to ask if they can reach the same objectives, And so the question that I have been tossing around is you ask the person, hypothetically, if you were the mayor of Cambridge and you had no chance of failing as the mayor, you were guaranteed to succeed, what is an initiative to improve the community? What is a issue that you would want to tackle in the city of Cambridge to improve it? And then allowing them the space to, and hopefully at that point you've made small talk with them enough. Now they're ready to be asked a, somewhat big question. But we segue the question by saying hypothetically, or I'm just curious. And then at that point, and this is kind of the challenge. When I was observing the canvassing efforts at first, when I first got there, I was noticing people were saying, hi, how's it going? This is who we are, handing the brochure with the candidate's face on it, which is a really attractive brochure. It's very well done. He has a great face. But then saying, will you vote for me? Without actually finding out why the fuck would they even vote? for anyone. What do they actually want, right? And so, I'm trying to stress to the candidate that just because we talk to them for 30 seconds and then say, "Will you vote for me?" and they say yes, that doesn't really mean necessarily that they're going to come out and vote. I mean, how many times, and I need to find a better way to communicate this, to teach this, actually. I'm glad that I'm thinking out loud right now. So I used the analogy of, it's like you can get 100 girls' phone numbers. That doesn't mean that you're going to get a girlfriend or even a date. And I feel like that analogy just was like, whew. That's what my field director said. He said, I think that he didn't understand the analogy. But the point is, and this is what I'm going to talk about in the team meeting tonight during the fundraising section and during the canvassing section, is a yes, there is levels of yes, right? So I'm going to ask them, what are some things we can do to increase the solidness of that yes to vote for us? And I'm going to make the case, which is, throughout my history in sales, I feel that this is, my greatest. Just the other night, one of my ex-coworkers invited myself and another person to go out. I don't drink, but to go out and hang out for a little while, and like a reunion from work. And we were talking about work, obviously, where we used to work. And she was saying that she feels that I was a strong salesperson because I actually paid attention to my customers rather than just shoving the selling agenda onto them. So that's something I really feel like our campaign needs to improve, is especially since our whole slogan is connecting communities, we have to make it, even if we're just asking for a vote, I feel like, and I really truly believe this, that if we sit there and tell a person all the things, they open the door, we say, "Hi, how you doing? We're with the Benjamin Committee. Here's all the things that we would like to do on the campaign," that is less likely to get them to vote than if we say, "What would you like us to do?" And then they give us a bunch of things they would like from us, and we have no actual answer. We don't actually come in and connect the dots and say, well, we actually really care about transportation, making transportation more accessible, and funding being allocated for transportation, and the different heads of the different departments of transportation sitting in the room once a month and all talking together so that their initiatives do not duplicate service and counter, but making the different people within the transportation all talk to each other, connecting the community. That's our whole. But even if we don't have an answer like that, if we just say, "Oh, okay, now I know what's important to you. Will you vote for me?" and they say yes, I still feel that the person who was able to tell us what was important to them, and we genuinely seem to listen, and we ask follow-up questions, and they could see us filing it away, is more likely to feel some sort of connection to our campaign than the person who we just told our agenda. And also, it gives us such a better opportunity to then tell us, because, there is infinite number of political issues that are affecting Cambridge or any city at any given time. So, yeah, I'm going to, go into my team meeting tonight, and I'm going to really stress that our job is to listen. And I don't mean to be idealistic, but our job, we're running a campaign to get elected into a public service position. Our job is to serve the needs, right? So our job now with the campaign is actually to listen to people so that we become more informed, so that we become more compassionate and empathetic, and so that we have, once he gets elected, which in his mind, he texted me earlier, "I'm going to win by a landslide, tell all of your friends." He's sublimely confident. My job as campaign manager is not to be emotional. And even if it was, that's just not the right job for me. I'm a logical person. So yeah, we went canvassing last week. It was really good for the field director of voter contact to get out there, get his feet wet on the ground. I already can see that the guy that I have for the voter contact field director, he doesn't even need the training. It's just, he's already got the skills. So tonight we're going to go to the team meeting. Yeah, it's really getting interesting. Another thing is that the field director recruited a voter contact, recruited another individual who just graduated college and who is trained as an accountant. And this person is seeking to increase their resume. So they're willing to come on as a volunteer on the campaign, knowing very little about it, and be our treasurer. And I'm going to probably have to do something about, I've attended the meeting with there's a committee downtown that oversees political finance, or oversees campaign, specifically campaign financing. And I've attended the meeting 3 times, and I've decided there's no way I'm going to become the treasurer of this campaign. I don't want that responsibility. Data entry, that's not my thing. I'm an idea person. So this gentleman has been recruited by one of the people that I hired to work for me to come on now as a volunteer. So in 3 weeks, I've brought 3 solid, educated, effective people onto the campaign. So I feel good about that. We're going canvassing tomorrow. So yeah, just keep on keeping on. I'm going to go to the team meeting tonight. I'm going to talk about fundraising. We've developed a list of potential people to contact by phone to elicit donations from. We've also began a soft series of contacts with 25 local businesses. And as we go through that process of like the first maybe 4 or 5 contacts, letter, phone, in person, all this stuff, then we're going to scale it up once I have a little bit of data of how the things that I'm implementing, because all this stuff, it's like my background is so relevant, being a marketing person, but the political campaigning specifically, I'm applying to an industry. I haven't been in politics. I've avoided it like the plague, actually, for good reason. But so it's very interesting. So anyway, once I get this initial data with these 25 businesses, we'll scale it up to a much larger approach to businesses, and I have a great person to do that who's much more well suited to that soft contacting. Yeah, so I'm going to go to the team meeting tonight. I'm going to take the book that I have began reading about nonprofits for dummies. I'm going to ask the gentleman who's our treasurer to read that and give a presentation about specifically, the benefits or loopholes within 501c3, which is nonprofit status. There's this other thing, like a subdivision, Section 527, which allows for political activity. Because normally a 501c3 nonprofit is expressly prohibited from engaging in any political activity, donating or increasing a campaign. That's a general rule. Their job is to serve the community, not to serve the needs of individuals within their organization, or specifically individuals who are campaigning. But then within 527, there's some kind of umbrella. And I've done multiple research. I've went to see 3 different people who are employed by the state. None of them can even point me to the right resources. So I'm starting to think that, we may have to hire an accountant. We're going to see what his training is like. He's coming to the team meeting tonight, this new guy. So yeah, it's just, one day at a time.
Jeez, this tune upon fire. Jeez, you don't know.